The regular council meeting of the Village of Armada will now come to order. Will everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First, we'll have roll call by clerk.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Wallach.
Here.
Baylor.
Here.
Cooper. Here. Belkey. Here.
Present. We have next is the approval of the agenda. What is the council's wishes?
As amended, please, because the consent agenda under approval of minutes, I have the wrong date. It should be 9/10/18 instead of 8/27.
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as amended.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. And we have no presentations tonight?
Citizens comment. Citizens comment.
Oh, well, I like to skip around, I guess. Yeah. I'm sorry. Citizens' comments at this time. Floor is open up for anybody who wants to address the council at this time. You have 3 minutes, and state your name for the record first, please. You're all smiling, nobody wants to do it. Okay. And tonight, like I said, there's no presentations. Administrative reports. F&B, Scott is here along with Commissioner Clark, if your floor.
I will turn it over to Scott since he is here.
All right, for the month of August, the discharge monitoring report was submitted to the MDEQ. The wastewater plant was in compliance with all NPDES permit limits for the month of August 2018. The average flow for this month was 94,000 gallons per day. The maximum flow for a single day was 153,000 gallons on August 1st. The mechanical barge screen that the village approved to be refurbished by Hydrodyne Engineering was delivered and installed on the pivoting rack on August 29th. Hydrodyne was scheduled to be on site for the startup of the mechanical bar screen on September 20th and the 21st, which they have done, and it's completed and now up and running the last few days, and it's running pretty well, so it worked out very well. And then one thing Chris wanted me to touch upon that he left out, he forgot, was the fair billing. He said that should have arrived by now, but it hasn't. It's completed and should be in pretty soon. And he was concerned that it wasn't representative because of the low flow that we had going through the line. We kept clogging up the suction line on our sprinkler. So the one thing he thought may help next year is if we get some water just going through that line continuously. I think they did. He said they had done that previously. So that was pretty much it on that part. And then the action items, the Colonial Lift Station, I think we talked about that last council meeting as well, is that hatch is pretty unsafe and pitted. We did do as requested last time. We got some quotes out. We haven't got them back yet, but I know Eifert and Jet Pump both went out and took a look at it. We should have those quotes in for the next council meeting. And then also at the plant, we got our biosolids report back from the sludge storage tanks, and that 2-inch yard hydrant right next to the sludge storage tanks is inoperable. I guess it hasn't worked for quite some time. The reason that's important, Chris pointed out that we just got the results back that it was 70 milligrams per kilogram of arsenic. So if we had that hydrant functioning, we could return some of it back by diluting that sludge a little bit and supernating off the top. Because if it gets to 75, from what Chris explained to me, it has to go to a biohazard landfill, which is a lot of money. So that may be something we want to look into. Yeah. As far as the maintenance goes, maintenance and general housekeeping are completed in accordance with the O&M manual recommendations. Completed work orders are included in Appendix D. It was noted in May 2018 by Odemeyer Instrumentation that the Hydro Ranger effluent flow meter is on its last contact with a 4 to 20 milliamp signal and can fail at any time. We recommend being proactive and having a new effluent flow meter installed as soon as possible. Proposals from Odobuyer Instrumentation and UIS to replace the effluent flow meter are located in Appendix E. And then, next point, on August 6th, Jet Pump was on site to perform the annual inspection of the submersible pumps at the wastewater plant, secondary wet well, and the Colonial Street lift station. There was water in the oil chamber on both number 1 and 3 pumps in the secondary wet well. This issue indicates that they may have a faulty mechanical seal that needs to replace, or it may be necessary to purchase the new pumps for the secondary wet well. Jet's inspection report and a picture of the secondary wet well are located in Appendix F. You can see it's like completely discolored oil coming out of the port there. Into an LP.
Last page, right?
That one inspection report's kind of long. It's like,
Oh, yeah. We don't have spare ones down there, Steve?
What's that now?
We don't have any spare pumps down there? I thought we did at one time.
I don't believe so. I mean, we've been trying to keep things tight, and they may have been used up a while back.
I know some of them are newer too. I think Chris was telling me, but I can't remember which ones they are.
Yeah, I thought we had replaced one of them, and one of them, we kind of got bandaged up,
I
the
think
cord
that's-
got
yeah.
sucked into it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
So-
that's what it was.
Yeah.
And that's pretty
What
much
do
all.
those, what do those pumps run roughly?
As far as gallons per minute?
No, as far as cost.
Oh, I'm not sure. I can get back to you on that though, for sure.
Get a quote for some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can definitely do that.
yeah. You know, I know there's a lot of little things that almost have to be done before we even go into all this full-blown the SRF stuff. Some of the stuff can't wait,
No.
especially again with the lid on the lift station
Yeah,
there.
that's gotta be done.
It's a safety thing, that one of the days you guys are gonna pick up the lid, and it's gonna come off and go right down,
Kids gonna walk
and
across.
hopefully not tear up something on the way down.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, that thing's heavy too. If it were to
Yeah.
fall, that's gonna do some
the
damage.
newer ones that we are kind of looking at quote-wise are aluminum, and they're like, it's not one big panel, there's two that kind of
Oh,
go up this way.
like
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and I know
When
what
are we gonna replace that lid?
what's that?
When are we gonna replace?
We're working on getting quotes right now.
Yeah, we
You
got.
haven't seen any of the quotes, Steve?
No, I haven't. No, there's still.
Chris showed you the sketch. We did get a sketch back. We haven't got an official quote back yet, but Eifert gave a sketch of kind of how they planned on raising up the whole thing, flushing it out. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
so they're not gonna be really tearing apart what we have. There'll be another one built on top of it and anchored to it that'll be flush with that sidewalk, that adjacent sidewalk.
So,
Hopefully we'll get these back, those back pretty soon. But I know he had 2 of them so far. So.
Yeah, that's an issue we want to definitely address. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
Somebody fall and,
Oh, it's a liability.
Yeah.
No doubt.
One good thing with the screen back in order, that's going to help with these pumps too. There's a lot less rags going through there and everything else. So that's good. And then, unless there's any more questions there, the final thing was the call-outs. We just had one on August 1st. VOP received a Zone 2 alarm at 3 a.m. Upon arrival, the alarm was found just to be a high influent flow, so nothing major. Checked operation of the plant and raked the screen, and that was it. If you guys got any questions for me, I'll do my best to answer, or I can get back to you.
Okay, thanks so much,
All right,
Scott.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Scott?
You have anything other?
No, just that I did witness the new bar screen in operation, and it was picking off
Makes a
the
big
stuff that
difference, huh?
it should do, so.
Yes, it's very helpful.
Treasurer's report, you have that in your packet. And liaison reports, any other liaison reports?
I just wanted to say one thing. I
Yes,
wanted to
go
say
ahead.
thanks to Andy Farah for refurbishing the sign in the park. There had been some comments coming into the office about, it looked kind of shabby. So he's the guy that originally built the sign for us 7 or 8 years ago, whenever that was. So I had him come out, he did it right away. He put another coat on it. It's good for another year. Thanks, Andy.
Yep.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you, Scott.
Under general business now, your consent agenda, approval of the regular council meeting minutes of 9/17/18, and payment of bills, special event permit application, which is the homecoming parade for the school. What is the council's wishes?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Just so everybody knows too, I did talk to Ms. Kukru and the principal of the high school, Skopna, regarding the throwing of candy. We're not allowing that from the moving vehicles. I told her she wanted to pass out candy that the kids could walk along the sides and pass it out so no kids are darting out. That we had noticed in years past, like kids, with volleyballs in between the moving vehicles and that, we're not going to, we asked them to please don't do that. We just don't want anybody getting hurt. So she's aware of it. She said she talked to Chief Mike last year. They're aware of it. I'm gonna make sure it's on the permit, so everybody knows.
Okay. Old business, the sewer plant
I
up to...
don't think did you call for vote?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Any further discussion on that? Consent agenda. If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the old business. Sewer plant update.
Yeah, since Scott's report, I really don't have anything else to add. It's just we're working on some other quotes for some of the other things that we need down there, and we'll get it back to you as soon as we can.
And West Main Street
Yes, ma'am.
update, Mr. Beller, do you have anything to
Yes, I
add?
do. We have a pre-construction meeting on 9/27/18 at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we'll have the start date at that time, when they're gonna start our West Main Street project. Also, we will be talking to the contractors for our various residents to make sure that they can get into their driveways morning and night. If they have to go to work, they have to come back, make sure that that's open. And also our ambulance service for out to the nursing home will have to be taken into consideration also. So, and when they do the only time that will be hampered is when they do the culvert out there. And then we'll have to talk with the fire department and the ambulance, tell them that they're gonna have to, do the work, like they did when we did the bridges. Okay, that's it.
All right. Anything else to it that maybe the council members want to add? Okay, next is new business, is the smart funds, municipal and community credits. Do you want to address part of that?
I will until I turn it over. This we do every year. We get these, we always turn them over to Richmond Lennox for the smart bus. We're not looking for, yeah, it helps to pay for the smart bus. This year though, they have required us to approve a resolution, which Jeff White prepared and sent over to me today. So I filled in where we needed to. So the motion's a little bit different this time because it's allowing me to sign the contracts, which you've always done, and the resolution. So there's really not a whole lot of difference, but if Jeff wants to, if you guys have any questions for Jeff or Fred Barbrett, who handles all the smart stuff. So if you guys have any questions for them, they're here. If not, we can, just move forward.
Okay, what is this, council's wishes as to the Smart Fund District.
I make a motion to allow the clerk to sign the municipal credit and community credit contract and the resolution to distribute the FY 2019 municipal credit funds totaling $1,969 and the community credit funds totaling $3,972 directly to Richmond Lennox EMS.
Support.
Those numbers sound right, you guys, right?
There actually should be a $250.
Well, there is, but I had put
Okay.
that
Oh, you put it all
in
in
one
there?
of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good,
So,
yeah,
okay.
in the report that I got from Smart, that's all.
It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
You guys don't require a roll call on that, do you? Nothing? Okay.
Whatever your practice is.
Okay.
If I could, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you again. For those of you that, I think everybody's probably pretty aware, we had a pretty close call as to whether or not we'd still be providing this service here with the recent millage election. As it went on, certainly I had serious concerns about what would happen, but I think it really struck me maybe just the other day when I had a woman approach me just in the grocery store. And she said, Jeff, what would we have done if the Smart millage had failed? My husband relies on it to go to dialysis and he would die without it. And I said, I don't know. And there was nothing else to say. And that was the frightening position that we were 37 votes away from reality, in this election. So I think we all of us that value this service really, over the next 3 years, need to do a better job, present company included, of making certain that the residents, in our communities really understand, the value of this organization. I mean, for some it is, genuinely life and death. I'd just like to share one more interesting thing that occurred recently with the board. Just a few weeks ago, your fire chief here for the village and township, who was really kind of a very forward-thinking guy, had a drill over at the nursing facility here, the senior living and nursing facility, that involved the potential to have to evacuate people from that facility and tied in potentially the use of our small buses in doing that. Well, what I'd say is a forward-thinking guy. Last week, our organization was called down to Chesterfield Township about 8 o'clock at night. It was the middle of last week. You'll have to forgive me, days run together a bit. But we were called down to Chesterfield Township, and the reason was a small nursing home type of facility caught fire. There was a lot of smoke in the building, and there were 39 residents in wheelchairs who had to be evacuated to another nursing type facility. So it's not just the idea that we get people to dialysis and doctor's appointments and the grocery store if they need to go, but in fact these vehicles can be used for a number of different services in our community. So with that, just again, thank you so very much for your continued support of the service. And like you say, the only thing we intend to do different besides really provide what we hope is top-notch service is really make certain the community understands the value of that. So this was just too close a call for my liking.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank for coming.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Just I'd like to share too that tomorrow's Jeff's picking up the first of 4 new propane fueled buses. So part of what we've been doing is procuring buses, and he's getting 4, and the folks over in Romeo are getting 3, and Shelby's getting 3. We're in the process of distributing about 25 buses throughout Macomb County here in the next couple of weeks. So brand new buses. So Jeff's are unique in that they're actually propane fueled. The rest of them are gasoline. Are they going to be about the same size as the buses?
Yeah, currently the size, I call them the airport shuttle bus size, but that's, currently what we operate.
Very good.
Very nice.
What's the I'm gonna sound really stupid here, but what's the benefit of having a propane fueled as opposed to a gas fueled?
traditionally we've run diesel, and the EPA requirements have made it very difficult for the diesels of this size vehicles to actually meet the environmental standards. So the small buses have been being converted mostly to gasoline. But we've been working with the bus manufacturer Ford and Roush, who's doing a conversion. All of our small buses now are being run on propane, and Jeff felt like the propane, you could have gotten either gasoline or propane, but you don't have to change oil as often, they burn cleaner, so they're a little more environmentally friendly, and so far we've had pretty good luck with them, so we're hoping that's going to continue. A little less expensive than the diesel as well.
I kind of am a fan of our outdoors and agricultural areas here, and being able to take a walk out where it smells good in the woods.
Right.
And if we can do anything, even if it's just us operating our propane buses, to not be putting so many diesel fumes in the air,
That's awesome.
it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Do you have a fueling station at the
We do.
new facility?
We're very fortunate, in Richmond, that we have Foster Oil Blue Flame, their bulk plant right in our community. So they have a facility right there at the plant on 32 Mile Road that we can fuel the buses, which is right down the road from where we keep the buses now on 32 Mile Road. And then they have, and actually they've put in a new plant, or a new fueling location for us off 31 Mile Road, where they do a lot of fueling for semi-trucks and things like that. So we'll have actually two locations. They put in the one on 31 Mile Road because it's a 24-hour a day operation. So if we did have another need for buses later in the evening, we'd have that 24-hour access, where the bulk plant is only open during daytime hours.
How is the new garage working out for you?
Wonderful. Yeah, we really love it. It's very nice. Our one of the things most appreciated by our smart bus operation especially is the vehicles are undercover. A couple of years ago, when those drivers would come in, they get in about 6 o'clock in the morning, and it had snowed or frozen overnight. They literally had to clean off and dig out the buses just to get them on the road, and then they were cold. Unfortunately, diesels don't heat up real fast, so so then we're going out and picking up poor folks that already have a lot of medical issues, and you'd be putting them in a bus for the first 2 hours that was ice cold. We just keep blankets in the bus just so we could wrap them up, kind of thing. Once we got folks in there, and now the bus leaves the station, it's 65 degrees inside when it pulls out, even on the coldest winter days. So I think it's good for us, and it's good for the folks we're going to get as well.
Good.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you.
guys.
Thank you. Take care, Fred.
Next is the engagement letter from Basinski and Company. In other words, that we have to
This is
go ahead and
for,
authorize as such.
this is for the SRF loan. As probably everybody knows, we've met with DEQ several times, and we are extremely close to the deadline for getting our funding in a proper quarter to still continue to qualify. So this is a step in that process for getting the bond. They are the financial advisors that will do the rate methodology for the bond, which is necessary in order to put it together so you know what your payments are going to be. So it's about $4,500, which is not that much more than what they charged us the last time that we did a bond. We don't have the amount set on how much we can spend as yet, what we would qualify for, but that will put us a little bit closer to finding that out.
Okay, what is the council's wishes?
With that being said, I resolve to approve the engagement letter from Basinski and Company to prepare the rate methodology for the sewer bond application at a cost not to exceed $4,500.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, we're going to have a roll call on that, please.
Clark?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Conan?
Yes.
Belkey?
Yes.
Cooper? Yes. Valley?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes. Motion carried. Next is to set a public hearing on the ordinance amending Title 9, Chapter 97, SS 97-6 of the Village Code to revise the village's liquor control regulations to conform to new state law provisions regulating the possession and consumption of alcohol by persons under 21 years of age. We have Chief here also, and Commissioner Cooper, do you want to address the council, please?
Sure. The reason this has been brought forth to the council is because we had a situation last month during the fair where we had a young man that was intoxicated, possession of alcohol. He was under 21 years old. This was his second offense. So we did cite him for MIP, minor possession. It was sent to the village attorney. The village attorney said that they could no longer authorize that charge because our ordinance hadn't been updated to specify that the first offense is a civil infraction and the second offense is a misdemeanor. He's authorized to charge people with the misdemeanor, but he said our ordinance needed clarification. The law was changed earlier this year on the MIP rules. It gives the young people a break. It's a civil infraction for the first offense. So he said our hands were kind of tied. We weren't able to authorize a misdemeanor charge through our local ordinance on this young man as a second offense. So
He must have been happy.
He locked
I'm
out.
sure he's happy.
Yeah.
So it's just an updated revision. We don't run across this situation very often. It's not often we have an MIP second offense, but to have it in place would be a good thing.
Okay.
And this is just to set the public hearing for it.
Right.
Because we have to have time to advertise and stuff, so that's for both of them, actually.
Okay, so dates, so we're going to be setting?
For the October 22nd meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to have it 15 days, and 15 days prior, and unfortunately, the way our paper works, and I don't have time to do it, so.
Mr. President, I'll resolve to set a public hearing on Monday, October 22nd, 2018, at 7 p.m. on the proposed ordinance amending Title 9, Chapter 97, subsection 97-6 of the Village Code to revise the village liquor control regulations to conform to the new state law provisions regulating the possession and consumption of alcohol by persons under 21 years of age, and authorize the clerk to publish notice of the public hearing in the official village newspaper.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion?
Yes. Is there any way that if we do this, I know we do this with other state codes and things like that, that we can adopt these by, like we do the National Electric Code and the State Electric Code, we adopt them by
Resolution or something?
resolution, right. So that when there's a change, we automatically get it.
I believe we do that with the motor vehicle code as well.
Exactly. You know, and instead of going through and having our attorney rewrite this thing, it would be a heck of a lot easier to say, okay, this is what we got, bang, put it in there, and that's it. And as it changes, we can just bring it up and say,
Sure.
That's probably a more specific question for Jeff, since
Yes.
it's an ordinance issue. You know, at this point in the game, it's just setting the public hearing
Yeah,
for
I
this,
know.
so maybe going forward from these two, I've been, you know, this one has to do with minor possession, this one has to do with animal control. I mean,
Right.
they're all over the place, so, but I don't, pardon me, their ordinances, yeah.
Can't change that without public hearing.
No, you have to have a public hearing to have an ordinance change, you do. But you can, the way we have it in those ones is, I'm trying to think how we do that. You didn't say the word, I was waiting for you to say
I
it.
know, I
Yeah,
can't think of
it
it.
either, but, we just adopt the electrical code or whatever, the maintenance code, and then those changes just automatically fall, whatever they change, we automatically have. We don't, because we accepted the code, not like specifics,
You know,
but,
it's addendum.
right.
That's what we did with the fire code.
Yeah, but these,
Yeah.
I think are different, I mean, right, Mike, or am I?
It's state law, so
Yeah.
it would be the same, sure.
Well, all right, I
well, we
mean,
can ask Jeff. That's what
yeah, I mean, I would
Yeah,
move
that's a
forward
good
with
idea.
this like this, because I have to set the public hearing date,
Yeah, I
so, but maybe moving forward, we can maybe adopt something more general. So we can ask him at the next meeting.
Sure.
Very good. What is oh, well, we already had to. No further discussion, I said? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, next is a set the public hearing and an ordinance amending Title 9, Chapter 96 of the Village Code to authorize the Macomb County Animal Control to enforce the regulations. Let me turn the page, please. Governing the care and control of animals within the village of Armada.
Mr. President, I'll resolve to set a public hearing on Monday, October 22nd, 2018 at 7 p.m. on the proposed ordinance amending Title 9, Chapter 26 of the Village Code. I'm sorry, 96. Why'd you cut that? On the Village Code to authorize the Macomb County Animal Control to enforce the regulations governing the care and control of animals within the village of Armada.
Support.
Moved and supported by Clark.
Yep.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Chief, how often do we contact them?
The animal control,
Yeah.
once a year,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
not very frequently at all. No, and they can enforce state law here in the village. And right under state law, I confirmed that with the court today. It does give us some control to keep our ordinances, if they were to come in here and enforce any of our animal ordinances assisting us, and they will only come in if they need to assist us, if we call them. We would keep it at the local level here in a district court under our ordinance with the revenue, if any, still at the local level instead of the state level.
Do we still have a dog pen where you guys have picked up some animals and hold them, if you know it's like a resident's dog?
We do,
Okay.
yes, we do, by the 10-cent barn back there.
My dog was in there a few times when I had Sage.
Doggy jail?
Yeah, dog in jail.
Of course he did.
I just wanted to let the people kind of know that, I mean, we are looking out for things. We're not automatically calling animal control and their dog is going down to the
This was
south end of the county
requested
or...
by animal control. They had asked us a while ago to adopt an ordinance to, and it's more for them than it is for us. I mean, we're gonna, continue doing what we're doing, but like Mike and I have discussed, it's not like we use them, but if we need to, it just makes it cleaner.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to handle things the best we can here. I can only recall once since I've been chief that we've used them to take a few dogs from a home and a couple cats as well. We didn't have any facility to house the cats.
Yeah.
But they had an issue in court which prompted them to send out this request to all municipalities who don't have their own animal control. Because their officers had written under a local ordinance and it didn't go well with the judge apparently.
Okay.
Because they didn't have the authority granted by that village or city that they were in.
Just makes it cleaner.
It does.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Good night.
Night, Chief.
Any up and coming agenda items, please? If none, citizen comments at this time.
Last man standing.
Council comments. You said I can't stir nothing up.
I got one, Marlo.
Okay.
I've talked to some of the senior citizens of the village. And I asked them, hey, you go to the senior citizen center, what do you do there, how often do you go, questions like that. All the ones I've talked to say no, they don't go. They don't know what goes on there. And of course I don't know. I think I'm getting close to that senior citizen age. I don't know where the break off is, you know. I think it might be older
Maybe you
than,
should go visit
you and
and
me.
see what they do.
but what I would like the clerk to do is contact the township. I don't know if you need to contact the senior citizen coordinator or if the
We're
clerk
in the
there.
process of hiring one now, I know.
But I would like to see like a monthly agenda from them, what's going on. Do they have meals for senior citizens?
I think it's
What kind of
once a week.
I
I
think,
believe.
and I know.
Years
they do
ago, I
tests.
went in there, first of all, I went up to have a meal one day and they didn't have any meals. I thought they did.
Yeah.
And then I went another time and I didn't know anybody in there. It wasn't like there was none of the village folks sitting there that I
So you
knew.
want me to call Mary and ask her if they have it, like a,
Like a monthly agenda, what goes on,
In other words,
you know, I know every once in a while they do have like a trip or something.
like a calendar, there's a
yeah,
calendar.
You know,
they
and
do have a
I'd
calendar.
like to have it posted here like once a month.
Okay.
Well, years
Supposed
ago,
to
they
go.
used to have meals every day up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they
I
You
don't
have to
do
let them
that.
know
I know
ahead
they
of
don't do
time
that
that
every
you're gonna
day.
be there.
Is Jan still there?
Jan has retired.
Okay,
So
well,
they're in the process of hiring a new coordinator, if they haven't yet, maybe they have, I
They
don't
have
know.
Ward.
They have, they
Donna
have,
Pites.
who?
Donna Pites.
Okay.
You know, we've been very quick to donate money at times to the Senior Citizen Center. You don't know what's going on there, and I'm sure it's all good
Yeah.
stuff. I just like to have it to
Yeah.
pass on to people.
Right.
They might have bingo going on there, Marv.
I can do that, and I will,
Well,
try to get calendars for the office.
I took a casino trip there back, I think in June or July.
See, you know, something like
They don't
that.
have enough of them though, you know, so she's gotta have so many people to go.
Well, you know, I've never got a mailing from them that I recall.
Well,
Maybe they don't know you're senior citizen.
But you had
Yeah,
a-
well, I'm just saying, we're contributed to it, our citizens not contributed to them. I guess I feel like I should be able to answer some questions
Yep.
here that I can't, and
Well, with the
so.
new director, it's a good time to get in
Right.
there and shake hands. and-
I agree.
And,
I
you
would like
know,
to,
we're there every year, we've donated money to there.
well,
When
she
they
always
ask.
said, in other words, give me your name and I'll make sure you got one. But I think it's a very good idea, David, that we request that it be posted, you know, in a couple places.
I can put it on the
Whether-
website, I can put it
Well,
on the
I'd like
window.
us to have it posted here at our
I can do
office.
that,
Right.
if they have
Posted
something.
on Channel 6.
Right, I
Yeah,
can't
The
create.
day I
something,
went, there was no people from the village but my wife and I,
Okay.
and Pat's there. There's three of us.
I did get the newsletter, but I went on their trips, you have to kind of go and, you know, sign
That's all.
up and then they'll
Well-
send you all.
Well,
the
there's
stuff.
a new one, if there is a new one in place, like you said, that's a good time to request it.
Sherry, did you,
How old
what
you gotta be
was
to
her
be a
name you
senior
said?
citizen?
Donna
I don't think I'm
Pites.
that old.
Bomarito's grandma.
I might just make it.
She got the job, so I don't know when she starts. She might not start.
What was the last name again?
P-I-E-T-Z or P-E-I-T-Z, I can't remember.
I will call to him.
Plates.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Michelle.
Yeah, we'll do that, so it gets the word out to, maybe a lot more wanna go, you know, so the buses are available, and the bus wasn't full that day. Excuse me.
I just think it's been a well-kept secret.
Well,
Well, years ago too, the smart bus used to be down at Windmill Point Apartments and pick us some of the seniors and take them down. But
well, see, she's from another area though too, so she's more by Washington.
That's the thing, we don't see that smart bus in town that much. I
You
think.
have to call for it, the smart
Do you
bus.
know where,
That's why people out here not voting for it, because they don't see it.
Yeah, I
Sherry,
know.
do you know where this Donna
Oh,
is
he takes,
possible?
Bud?
Where-
Good.
Where Donna lives? Here in the village or
She's not
township?
in the village, no, I know
In a
that.
township maybe, so,
I think so.
yeah,
They're
well,
Armada School District, I'm just not sure. It
Yeah.
has to be Armada Township, I would think, or she wouldn't have.
very good, that would be very helpful, I think.
I'll see what I can get.
All right, so, community events, any council knows of?
Homecoming?
Homecoming's this Friday.
This Friday, okay. Anything else?
Armageddon's coming up, what, October 5th is it, or
Sixth.
6th? It's that Saturday anyhow, 6th.
6th.
Well, it's like a weekend deal.
All
Fifth,
right.
sixth, seventh.
No, it's just one day, just that Saturday.
Oh, there's
Just
nothing Sunday?
No, just Saturday. Saturday.
Well, I mean, it's
Uh,
upcoming.
We don't have a closed session tonight. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
Time is 7:42. I make a motion to adjourn.
Sport?
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.